guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Dan.
And this is the Board Game Rundown. Today we are previewing Traps by Coca Games.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it.
Sure. All right. Yeah. K-O-C-A. Coca. It's 2 to 4 players, 12 and up, 60 to 90 minutes. I mean, really, like, that's pretty... You're probably closer to 60 than 90.
Yeah.
We played with 4 players learning, and it went pretty quick.
Yeah, there's dice, there's cards, so, it could go long, could go short, depending what happens.
Sure. So, essentially, this is a roll and move with a lot of take that.
Yeah.
That's
it's more like it's a take that game where you just happen to be moving with dice
Sure,
as well.
Sure. So you've got 2 characters. You've got a human and then an animal counterpart. I didn't get out the cards. Your human will have a special ability that you can use once a game, and your animal will also have a special ability which you can use once a game. And what you're going to be doing is for each person you have out of the start area, you can roll 1 die. And then you can choose to move either one. If you roll 2 dice, you can assign that number of movement to one of your people. And then here's where the fun gets crazy. You're going to start putting down traps as you move down the path. So there's a couple different kinds of traps. There's money pits, which are these green ones here. What they do, basically, somebody lands on it and they pay you. If you land on it, you get paid. So those are pretty rad. Then there's these purple traps, which they stay on the board. Well, money pits do as well. But the purple traps have a cost on them, and that's how much money you need to pay to put that trap out. And then when you do that, that trap stays out. You put your flag on it. So this is odd man out. On your next turn, only move if you roll odds. So that means somebody that lands on this might get stuck there for a turn, which is kind of fun. You can spend $10 and put a trap face down, and then it is not revealed until somebody lands on it. When they land on it, you flip it over, and then you have to pay, if you want that trap to trigger, you have to pay the cost of the trap then. So it costs $10 extra to hide it, but also then people may not avoid it like, oh, well, that's definitely a money pit. I don't want to do that one.
Yeah.
They might go, well, I'm not as worried about this one. And so essentially you're going around and you are dropping traps. Oops, that's an action. You're dropping traps throughout the board. There are treasure chest spaces. Treasure chests, you get $20 if you land on it or pass it. It's awesome. There's these medical huts, which are basically safe places. Because if you land on the same place as another player, you get to steal $10 from them. If you're in the hut, you're safe. You're safe from that.
I believe that character's also safe from like actions and stuff that they might use against that character.
Right. Yep. You're completely safe.
Yep.
Now, there are action cards, since you mentioned it.
Look at that.
So they're these yellow ones, and they can do a couple of different things. So this one's no regrets. You can sell a trap for its full card value. So sometimes later on, if everybody's kind of moved past this area and you got some old traps hanging out, or you just don't even like that trap anymore and you want to free up some of your flags, you can sell this trap for half of what you paid for it. So $10, you get $5. Cool. There are some actions, and again, it's got a cost at the top. Some actions you can pay, and it will give you a perk. So it's an ongoing ability you'll have for the rest of the game. So like Thief, your last piece steals double when you land on an opponent for the rest of the game. So it has to be your last piece, like you're further back.
Yeah.
But instead of stealing $10, you steal $20.
Yep.
Pretty handy. And yeah, so we're going to go around. There's the toxic space. The toxic is going to send you back to the previous medical hut. There's a chance space. If you land on that, you're going to flip over a trap card. If it's a trap, it happens to you, and you have to do whatever it says. If it's an action, you get it. So there's good things. There's also blue cards in here somewhere. Found treasure.
Yeah, treasure cards.
I kept finding a bunch of them.
Yeah,
There's one. There's one. And you just get that money. Isn't that nice? That's so cool. So on your turn, you can play up to 2 traps at once.
Yep.
You can't have 3 traps in consecutive spaces.
Yep. There's this. Ding, ding.
Right. And I mean, when you roll doubles, it would assign that move, and then you can roll another die and then just one, and then you can do that again. That's a lot of movement.
3 6s.
And the goal of the game is to get your people, your pair, all the way around to the finish. And the first one to do that wins.
Once your first piece passes the finish, you then go back down to 1 die because only have 1 die on the field
'Cause
again, and that's kind of a nice little catch-up mechanic.
Right.
You know, everyone
It slows
else
you down
is
a
still
little
rolling
bit.
2 dice while you're rolling 1.
So this is a pretty, I mean, we had some pretty loud moments playing this. This is a simple game, right?
Yeah.
So like heavy gamers might like turn their nose up at this, but for what this game is, I mean, it's pretty fun. It's kind of a beer and pretzels.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I would say I'm kind of what Tim's talking about here. I'm kind of a heavy gamer that like I would never bring Candyland to the table, right? I would never bring these kind of games to the table. I wouldn't bring a family weight game to the table, but like I didn't play it and be like, why did you make me play this?
No. I mean, we had some pretty like, oh no moments while playing.
When you moved back 3 times in 1 turn,
Yeah,
that was crazy.
I was like
I was
so close
literally
to
sitting
winning.
there like, what is happening?
So close to winning. And in this game it's mean. It's designed to be mean, but it's mean in a way that it's balanced because you can do one thing, but man, it's going to come right back and get you and bite you in the butt.
Yep.
Probably.
I honestly would almost wish it was more mean from what I've seen, and we only saw a third of the cards in the game, right? So maybe it is horribly mean, and we just had some nicer cards there. But there were just some cards that are clearly so much meaner than others that I feel like it's almost like, we'll either have the cards be not that mean or the cards being extremely mean. But like if you have some cards that are extremely mean, then whoever pulls that, it has a huge advantage because they have the really bad take that card, you know? But like I said, I haven't actually gone through the deck. They might be in there.
Sure.
We've saw a couple typos, but it's pre-production. You know, it's fine. Like we saw, I remember I pointed at one tile like, hey Tim, that has a misspelled word on it or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but like yeah, so that kind of stuff. You know, pre-production, still getting worked out. Yeah. Overall, I mean, if you play a lot with
I could
your
play
family
this. Yeah, I
and
could
your
play this with my
kids,
kids and stuff.
Yeah, this
and
is definitely that kind of game for sure.
And it's
a
cute.
modernized version of those classic family weight games.
Right. I mean, there's more to it than some of those for sure.
Sure.
But yeah, and I enjoy sort of the aesthetic, the artwork on the trap cards and the way your characters look, and then you randomly get the pairs.
Yep.
You know, different
And
dice
these are one-time
stuff.
abilities.
One-time abilities, yeah. You just flip it over. Their player mats are really good. It tells you where everything goes, and it basically breaks down exactly how the game works, like right there. So 90% of your rules questions are answered right there.
Yep. It says, do this, you have to. Do this unless you don't want to. Do this unless you don't want to. End of turn.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and they recommend that you play as many traps as you can. And,
yes,
and
I
I
can
get
see
it.
why. I see, though, from playing last time, I think it's probably better to play the more expensive traps early on because then you'll
Maybe,
be able
yeah.
to sell them later. You know
Sure.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're playing a bunch of green traps early on like I did. They're now useless to me.
Right.
So I can see that as a
strategy.
little tip.
Ah,
Yeah.
Pro tip from the heavy gamer.
Yeah, evidently.
But yeah, so traps. The hunt is on. It's pretty fun. 2 to 4 player, family weight game. And I think that if you've got like for me, like I could play this with my sister, like we're real close in age, because we enjoy being mean to each other.
Sure.
We would have a really good time. The problem is that everybody else playing would win because we would spend
Just hurting each other
the whole time. But that's our own problem. But again, that speaks to like the experience I would get out of the game, right? And so sometimes with games, that's what you're going for, is like a good experience and a good story. And actually, when we played this, we got a couple of good stories out of playing this with some of the mean stuff we were doing. Because I was winning really big, and then it went horrible real fast. I basically went from like here with my second dude, which is almost done, like 6 spaces away. I could have die roll away to basically being back down here.
Yep. And that's painful.
In a turn.
That's painful. And that means he's stuck with only 1 die to get all the way across the board, basically. That's painful. This game's painful.
It is painful.
Get ready to
It
get
does
punched.
it does its job. It does its job. So that's been Traps. The Hunt is on from Coca Games. I'm really glad we had an opportunity to see it. I had a good time playing it. I'm going to try to play this with my kids before we got to send it on because I think they'll have a good time with it.
That's going to be a good play.
So for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I've been Dan.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.